Hey, what's going on everybody? Jacob here from the nutrition store at Iron House Gyms. And more often than not, I'm asked about front squats versus back squats and what's the difference. We're often raised in the gym environment being told that front squat works the quadriceps more. And I just want to take a brief moment to talk about that. While the front squat is placed into a more anterior load position, you are getting a higher contraction rate of the quadricep muscle fibers, so you are going to be working them more. However, the question has to be brought into play when you're doing a front squat versus a back squat. How much overload can you apply to those specific muscles with either? You know, more often than not, we don't see guys in the gym front squatting 500-600 pounds like we do back squats. So even if there is a higher contraction rate with the front squat, are you going to be able to overload those muscle fibers? The answer is probably no. Now, what's the point in me talking about all this? Well, the moral of it is that if your focus is to build the biggest and strongest legs possible, you want to be focusing on the movements that you can progress the most in, overload the most in, therefore the back squat. However, if you're wanting muscular integrity, better abdominal strength, upright positioning, and athletic potential, I'd be looking more towards the front squat for training those specific traits.
So let's take a moment to go over the front squat. Notice how I approach the bar and grab them with what we call a clean grip or an Olympic grip, where my fingers are wrapped around the bar and my elbows are pointed directly forward. This requires a lot of wrist mobility, so don't do it unless you have the mobility for it. Do these other movements. I'm initiating the movement with my hips. However, since the weight is placed anteriorly to my spine, it is going to pull me forward and make it more dominant on my quadriceps. I also have to make a note that my movement patterns are used to a back squat, so my front squat technique definitely needs some polishing. Definitely could use a more upright position with my spine here instead of relying on my lower back to pick me up. However, I do love front squats for abdominal integrity, making sure that your wrist mobility is in line, and also it's just a good movement to include every once in a while. I personally like to throw in certain phases where I alternate between back and front squat, but that's just my personal preference. Obviously, this movement's very technical, and if you wanted more professional help, get a trainer or get someone who definitely knows how to instruct such a movement. Thanks for tuning in to this TNS training tip.